And Lockett's still on his side. He has basically not moved since very, very, very violent collision. Mike Pereira, anything in your estimation out of the ordinary on that hit besides just a big hit?
No, you just you look at it and you hate to see these, and they got upset. What could it be? Is it a blindside block? It is not. It's coming from the front, and in fact, really Lockett lowers his head into the shoulder. So there's really nothing illegal about it. But Troy's right. The most violent collisions still happen in the kicking game, which is why, for example, we're kicking off now from the 35-yard line, and over 50% of kickoffs result in touchbacks because of the concern for the violent collisions there. Not so sure what you can do in the punting game, but you just hate to see this.
Boy, well, there was talk at one time about eliminating kickoffs, from the game, and obviously kickers have something to say about that. But to me, when you start looking at how do we make the game safer, the low-hanging fruit is the kicking game. As to what can you do then to minimize and eliminate completely those collisions that happen within the kicking game. And this was on a punt. Kickoff coverages are oftentimes even more severe with the collisions that take place. But I think that's going to be the next step with our game, is we're going to not see a lot of these plays that we now have within the kicking game.
And I'll tell you, Troy, it's interesting on kickoffs too. They examine the three-man wedge and four-man wedge situations that we had, where there were a lot of significant injuries that were occurring from those, and they eliminated that and said you would go to just a two-man wedge only. They've talked about pump plays. What can you do? You hold people at the line of scrimmage. Only the two outside guys can go downfield. Is there anything that can be done to release people earlier so you don't get these violent collisions? Not sure. But anytime you see something like this, the one thing I will say is the competition committee looks at all of these major injuries and they look to see if there's anything that they can do. And they did that with the kickoff.